How are you guys doing? Great. I want to hear some applause for the BP team. Okay. Okay, so thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm Emery, I'm your lead PP judge. And for the past 2 days, each team has had the opportunity to present us their business idea. And tonight, we selected with all the judges the 3 best contenders. Make some noise for them. So first, before the evening is finished and we all go our separate ways, I wanted you to please a round of applause for our judges who took some time from their work and put some holidays in to judge us. So before you see what grades they put you, please a round of applause for them. Thank you. Nice. All right, and so the first team presenting us their business idea with Kineo, Hanover.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
Okay, perfect.
Rehabilitation is essential for millions of people recovering from injuries, surgery, age-related limitations, or neurological problems. But our healthcare system is under severe pressure because demand is growing way faster than clinical capacity, leaving patients facing delays and therapists facing overload. This is primarily driven by Europe's demographic shift. Over 22% of the EU population is already age 65 or older, and obviously older patients need longer and more complex care. In addition, this rising demand meets a shrinking in supply. It takes an average of 168 days to fill an empty physiotherapy position. And beyond the clinic, this is a real economic burden, an estimated 21.5 billion a year in lost productivity from delayed and inefficient rehabilitation. This is exactly where Kineo comes in. Kineo is a software-controlled rehabilitation platform that helps therapists deliver significantly more effective care without adding to their workload. By combining adaptive resistance, real-time recovery data, and motorsport-level precision, the system continuously reacts to the patient's movement and gives objective performance data to refine treatment session by session. Let me introduce you our team. Simon Liebel, our CEO, leads strategy and market entry. I'm Leonard Meyer, and I'm responsible for technical development as CTO. Together, our mission is simple: let therapists make data-based decisions and understand each patient's progress more precisely, eliminate guesswork without adding to their workload.
Over the past 2 years, we validated our core technology and finalized our pilot product. Steering motors is tested. The steering motor is tested. Product safety functions and operation modes are ready, and the pilot products are available today. We are opening our seed round and looking for 600,000 euros for 80% of equity in our company to fund CE certification, small batch manufacturing, and market entry.
Kineo makes rehabilitation simple, safe, and personalized. The therapist sets up the exercise, and as the patient trains, the system continuously reacts and supports them. After the training, the therapist can review the data and track the patient's progress. Unlike static exercise equipment, Kineo's core is adaptive resistance. It adjusts load in real time within a range the therapist sets up front, increasing resistance during strong controlled movements and reducing it automatically the moment instability is detected, protecting the patient while the therapist stays in full control and recording useful data throughout the whole process. On top of this, an AI layer analyzes therapy data, flag fatigue, highlight unusual patterns, and suggest load adjustments, always as a recommendation the therapist reviews and never as a replacement for clinical judgment.
Our business model blends an upfront hardware purchase with recurring software and expansion revenue. We're looking at a base price of 9,490 euros for a base model, including the core unit as well as one therapy kit. A fully functional system that is a fraction of the cost of a large diagnostic suite. On top of that, we have a pro subscription for 149 euros a month for smaller practices, as well as a clinic subscription for 349 euros a month for larger rehabilitation centers. As well as our three modules, the cable, shoulder, and neurological module for 299 euros each. One Kineo device can add up to 5,460 euros in annual revenue for a clinic. This means there is only 2 years of a potential hardware payback possible.
To hit this performance and an accessible price, we formed a joint venture with Formula Student team behind Horsepower Hannover, adapting their proven steering actuator from Formula Student, where the team placed 4th in endurance and 5th as skid pad at Formula Student Spain 2024. Our partner owns the actuator hardware and the mechanical engineering. Kineo focused entirely on software, clinical data, and market strategy. Together, delivering 8 Newton meters of peak torque at 14 millisecond response time and 0.1 degree angular precision.
The production stays lean during the pilot phase and will scale after validation. Our partner produces the actuators, third-party suppliers provide electronics and sensors, and we are doing assembly, integration, testing, and delivery. With a circular supply chain, we are able to inspect, refurbish, and reuse returned materials, cutting costs, as well as handle thus giving back real wear data back into the design.
AI supports manufacturing too, flagging assembly and sensor issues before quality sign-off, and predicting unusual wear before it comes to failure. Our CE certification path follows the EU medical device regulation with all patient data encrypted and GDPR compliant.
The global rehabilitation market is $6.91 billion a year. Narrowing it down to facilities that fit our price and platform, we are looking at a serviceable market of $1.43 billion a year. With our initial rollout being planned in the DACH region, we are looking at an obtainable market of $19.4 million a year. With the beachhead, 29,000 physiotherapist practices, as well as 6,000 larger rehabilitation centers across Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. As a product, Kineo sits in between the cheap gym equipment that lacks the clinical data, the very high expensive clinical-only diagnostic systems. For our marketing strategy, we are looking at 3 main channels. The direct outreach with live performances, our professional network, as well as digital channels such as LinkedIn. But Kineo isn't only about winning clinics, it's about winning the right people that build Kineo with us. We are attracting specialized engineering talent via 4 channels. Our alumni Formula Student Network, the Health, Tech and Medcare talent pool, university and research partnerships, as well as our own professional network. And if we get them, we are built to keep them with real equity, ownership of their product decisions, as well as a challenge they won't find at a large corporate building motorsport-grade hardware that changes patients' lives.
We'll deploy our seed round against clear milestones. 35% to R&D, 30% to medical certification, 20% to production and scaling, and 15% to marketing and distribution. As our installed base grows, recurring software and module revenue improves predictability. We project annual revenue reaching approximately 3.99 million by year 8, with net income turning positive by year 2031. Over a 5-year horizon, we project investor returns of 30% conservative, 79% expected, and 139% optimistic. With our most likely exit being a strategic acquisition by medtech or digital health player. So to finish validating our product and enter the dark market, we are seeking an investment of 600,000 euros in exchange for 18% of equity.
Kineo bridges motorsport precision.
Yes, you brought prototype. The prototype. Yes. Okay. Here. Bodensee. Yeah. Yeah. It's best if you can like sit sit with your team and you'll be called upon one step in. All right. I just it's best you know like in case there was something like yeah. Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah. Okay. We all have two microphones. Okay, so you have to share. Okay. Okay. So for the presentation, strong performance, strong performance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fazda from Darmstadt. Check, 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 check. So, hi, we are TerTech. We are looking for investment of 750,000 euros and in return, offer you an equity of 40% stake in our company. So, this would represent an ROI of 147% and net present value of approximately 644,000 euros after 5 years. So, after showing you our numbers and catching your interest, let us tell you the vision behind TerTech. So let us introduce you to Max. Max is the store owner of Railway Darmstadt West, a local supermarket with over 28 employees. So let's take a look at his typical day in his store.
At 9:15, the first sales runs empty. This goes unnoticed for 2 whole hours until an employee comes by. By that time, a lot of sales were lost. At 10:23, an employee updates the price tags. Due to an error, the price for the chocolate bar jumps to 10 euros. This problem isn't fixed for days, so a lot of sales were lost. At 15:43, the high liquor is stolen out of the shop. So the shop detective had no chance to notice this, and the money is lost. At 8, Max closes the store. He still relies on guesswork and spreadsheets, so he has to do a lot of manual work. What happened that items are not available in the store.
Bringing supermarkets into the new digital age is no easy task, but that's why we're here. I am Brian Zaki, co-founder and CFO of ChairTech.
I am Dario Boric, CTO and co-founder.
And I'm Jack Brose, COO and co-founder of TerTech. And together we developed a two-part strategy, starting with the hardware required to get the data necessary.
We have developed a set of durable and space-efficient scales that can be simply retrofitted onto existing supermarket shelves. These scales can track even the lightest items with a precision of just 1 gram. This allows us to track the amount of product that is left on the shelf and notice if an item is added, removed, or returned. These scales were made for the chaotic life in a supermarket. This is where our partnership with Faster Racing comes into play.
Now, Faster Racing have developed load cells to measure the load on each wheel in real time, capturing and feeding live suspension data back to the engineering team during every run. Now, on track, that means capturing small forces with high precision under a very challenging environment. Now, we took that same force sensing technology and adapted it for a chaotic day to day life of a supermarket, creating a durable yet very precise scale.
But getting the data is just one part of the solution. We also have to extract value from it. And this is where TailTech AI really shines. TailTech AI is a custom big data platform that can handle hundreds of thousands of data points per second. These are provided by the scales and help us to generate a database that is unheard of in the industry. Another known pain point of modern supermarkets is the limited live data analysis and AI integration. TailTech has trained several custom AI models to do demand forecasting, consumer sentiment analysis, and notice problems. We also get notified in case of a potential theft, an anomaly, or if there's problem with stock. Another area we're helping with is our notification system. TailTech reduces labor costs and increases staff utilization by reducing walking distances and improving the way staff have to check the shelves. To make switching to TailTech as easy as possible, we have taken several key measures. TailTech scales are fully retrofittable into existing supermarket shelves. And TailTech AI is compatible with 30 plus industry standard applications. While other companies like Teguteo or Amazon Go are requiring a complete remodeling of the store, TailTech can simply be retrofitted in a weekend rather than months. So now let's see how this revolutionized Max Store. As soon as the shelf runs low, near 950, TailTech immediately notices this and sends a restock order. If the price is set wrong and the sales start to plummet, TailTech AI picks this sign up and sends an employee to check. The expensive liquor that leaves the shelf quickly, now the camera of the store detective suddenly switches to the correct angle and he can investigate and prevent the theft. At the end of the day, Max no longer needs guesswork. TailTech AI provides him with fully ready recommendations what to order next, or if he wants to, take over the ordering hustle completely by itself. These results were also validated during our pilot phase that we conducted during the last 6 months at a supermarket in Darmstadt. During that time, we were able to reduce 98% of out of stock problems while optimizing restocking routes and walking distances, leading to a 12% reduction in staff required. This combined into 15,300 euros of monthly revenue increase compared to the same month of the previous year, and that even after deducting the cost of TailTech. This comes good to our USP. While other companies like Shekel are also trying to integrate scales into the modern supermarket, they lack in terms of high efficiency gains and AI integrations. Amazon Go, on the other hand, is trying to go for the fully autonomous store, often having unsolved challenges that are not fully solved yet with our current technology and completely ignoring the current retail space and trying to bypass them. We are confident that TailTech's unique formula that is cut out for the current supermarket environment is perfect to succeed.
Now let's take a look at our market potential. The total addressable market is about 200,000 stores in Europe, of which 43,000 are located in the German-speaking area, or GSA for short. Expecting a 10% market penetration, we are looking at 4,300 potential stores. And for the first few years, we are focusing on the 200 stores that are open to innovation.
But with a growing customer base, we also have the problem with growing maintenance requirements. Because we want to make switching as easy as possible, we want to service all the scales ourselves. For this, we have developed a comprehensive maintenance strategy, starting with our 3 hubs. These are divided equally in the GSA regions to offer short service distances and reduce the time we need to arrive in cases of problems or emergencies. Combining this with predictive maintenance, we're able to offer high uptime and reduce the problems the customer experience and lead to a good customer experience.
Now let's take a look at how we tailor our market strategy and how this translates into sales. In the beginning, our focus is heavily on trade fair and events so we can get a closer connection to potential early adopters and, of course, position ourselves in industry as a newcomer. Now, once our company has been established, we are shifting our strategy to a more broader model, such as retail partnerships and internet-based approaches. Now, this set of strategy would result us growing from just 8 stores in the beginning to over 200 joining us in. Now, this is our cost structure from year 1 to year 5. As you can see, personal cost stays our biggest cost block as we are pursuing for a fast expansion to the full GSA region. As you can also see, cost of materials is also our second biggest cost block, growing in line the number of units we deploy and produce each year. Our costs grow because we are maintaining and also installing more hardware each year, which is exactly the kind of growth we want to be paying for. Now, looking at our financial standing, with a working product and, of course, the help of investment, uh, we expect to reach break even by month 7, year 3. And EBIT is projected to grow from 89,000 euros in year 3 to over 3 million in year 5. But of course, the reality is sometimes different as planned. Less interest on our product, higher procurement costs, and other expenses would push our break even into the year 4. But if you attract more businesses and expenses turn out to be cheaper than expected, we would reach our break even as early as month 2, year 3.
So, 1 month ago, we finished our 6-month pilot phase, and we are now ready for full-on commercial rollout. So, your investment will directly kickstart our complete expansion throughout late 2026, focusing on the Darmstadt region. In 2028, we want to expand even further to the full GSA region, and we expect to become break even in 2029 and plan to full-on lengthen into new EU markets.
But expanding into new markets, it's not the only expansion we want to do. We also want to expand our product portfolio. While TailTech is already helping with store security, we want to connect it to more systems and sensors to make it a full AI-based theft detection system for the modern supermarket. Another area we're experimenting with is physical dynamic pricing. While dynamic pricing has so far mostly been used in the digital world, we are confident that with TailTech scales and data, we can bring this concept and combine it with digital price tags in the real world. And the final form of TailTech is to go for the fully autonomous store, reducing the labor required as much as possible.
So let's revolutionize retail together.
Thank you for listening, and we appreciate the time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for keeping our stores safe.
Faster.
All right, so we can say. Okay, thank you, Fazda. Thank you for your presentation. Now, please welcome our last contenders, Bondense Racing Team.
In many projects, scaffolding is not just a supporting tool, but one of the biggest cost and time factors. Before a single square meter can be painted, scaffolding needs to be transported, assembled, secured, and later dismantled. It creates noise, blocks access, and consumes time and money before the painting process has even started.
This is Lena Eickhoff, our head of business development, and I'm Emilia Kösling. I'm the head of marketing and sales. So our founders founded Mira in 2025, which are, as you can see here, Simon Keiner and Nils Krellner. They were wondering, there has to be a better way. So across all industries, you can see a modification in industries, such as replaced models with digital systems. We are getting faster, safer, and more scalable. The only thing which hasn't changed yet is facade painting. It still begins by surrounding the entire building with a steel structure. This can't be the reason, or this can't be the final solution. So once we combined drones, LiDAR, and automated path planning, the direction was clear. The future of facade painting has to be built around data, automation, and robotics. So Mira was founded in Constance in 2025, but we moved in January 2026, our head office, to Hockenheim, which makes us a bigger center of market, more buildings, more customers, and none of the border limits we have in Constance. So, but what actually did we build?
This is Mira, mapping intelligent recoating aircraft. Instead of surrounding buildings with steel, we surround them with data. We've been operating from Constance since Q3 2025, with 2026 being our first fully operational year. So, how did we build that so fast? Because we didn't start with buildings, we started with race cars. Mira is derived from two systems used in the Bodensee Racing Team's current Formula Student vehicle: LiDAR perception and path planning. On the race car, the LiDAR turns the physical environment into machine-readable data. Path planning then calculates a safe and efficient trajectory. For Mira, we adapted the same architecture. Instead of recognizing a racetrack, the system recognizes paintable surfaces, windows, doors, balconies, and safety zones. Instead of calculating a racing line, it calculates coating paths for several drones. The environment changes, but the logic remains. Sieve, map, plan, and execute. One scanning drone captures the facade using LiDAR data and creates a precise three-dimensional model. The system identifies paintable surfaces and no paint zone. It then generates trajectories with a defined distance, speed, overlap, and safety separation, ensuring our operating precision of less than 2 centimeters. Three coating drones divide the facade between them and apply two consistent layers. Each drone has its own paint cartridge and spraying unit, eliminating the need for hoses or permanent supply lines connected to the ground. Exchangeable batteries and paint cartridges and reduce interruptions while two certified operators supervise the field operation.
To turn our technology into scalable operation, we organized our business around standardized working units. So each working unit combines people, drones, and supported infrastructure, which is needed to execute projects from the initial scan until the finishing coding. Each unit largely is self-contained, which makes scaling Mira becoming very simple. Since one unit has reached a capacity, we just simplify, replicate it. The model is built on a weather adjusted capacity, not on a year around fantasy. So once we account temperature and rainfall, we have for one working unit around 148 days of operating, which means across 3 segments, this is one fully utilized unit completing 116 projects, coating roughly 45,800 square meters and generating just over 1 million euros per year annual revenue. The growth, as I already said, is simple. We just replicate the unit. So in 2026, as you can see here, we have one unit. In 2027, we have 4 units. 2028, already 10, 2029, 20, and 30 in 2030. Every project we complete doesn't just generate us revenue, it generates data. More validated flight paths and more operational experience. A mode that gets deepened into building code. From 2028, we are lowering our prices by 3% every year. So we are sharing our efficiency with our customers, which means we're defending our first mover log, and also we don't want to seek for capital to prove that we have a really good idea here. Rather, we are seeking capital to remove the bottleneck of the limitation we have in scalability. So Mira sells completely facade coating, B2C. So we also sell it to building owners and facility managers. So they don't have to buy drones, hire any pilots, or have to integrate the software. There's just one accountable contractor price square meter. Our model resists, as you can see here, on three pillars. So the first one is renovation, which is about 65% of our whole. So renovation is average 235 square meters, which is involving 34 euros per square meters. And it's a bit more expensive because of the complex geometry we have. And since we have to put more effort into the scanning as well as the work afterwards to get the scan fixed so we can actually use it. The second one is industrial. And if average is around 1,400 square meters. Industrial is very nice for us because we have a large facade, which is very simple, and we can run the full capacity of our unit. It is contributing 25% of our revenue. The last one is the new build. It has about 350 square meters, which is involving 17 euros per square meters. It gives us continuous pipeline contributing the last 10%. So altogether, we have the three segments, and it means that our business never really is depending on one type of building, and we always have some jobs to do. To attract top talent, we recruit very selectively. So first of all, we want to have young engineers from university, from Formula student, from robotics, or from drone communities. On the other hand, we also want to have experienced specialists, which we are actually getting from automotive, automation, and UAV industries. We offer to both groups what basically none of the large corporations can do. So we offer them responsibility and an influence on our building on our business from day one. So, as you might know, attracting great people is only half of the challenge. Mira technology we know that it's only our technology is only as good as our people are. So we operate with them and develop. As we scale, we don't want our employees to become like small pieces in a large community. We want them to be part of our we want them to be part of small groups since our unit has like a maximum of people which can fit in, and so they can always have enough influence on what is happening in the group. We have them to be responsible, and we want them to get as much salary as they can have.
Thanks to our committed employees, our revenue grows from 838,000 euros in 2026 to 10.2 million euros in 2028 and 28.75 million euros in 2030. We plan a loss of about 313,000 euros in 2026, but that's the cost of building the first unit properly. By 2027, we're already profitable and reach cumulative break even in the fourth quarter of the year. A short dip follows in early 2028 as we expand again. After that, profitability holds. For our investor, our model projects a return of investment of 363% by the end of 2030. And this isn't built on raising prices. This is built on productive units and scalable operation. To unlock this, Mira is seeking 1.15 million euros for a 21.5% equity stake. 400,000 of that fund the one-time software investment in path planning and multi-drone coordination, permanently removing one IT specialist's cost from every future working unit. The rest covers our crash requirement as we expand to 4 working units in 2027 with a 25% safety buffer built in. We are primarily looking for an investor who believes in a scalable business model. Though strategic access to paint manufacturers, procurement, or real estate corporations would add real value on top. Mira isn't asking you to finance a better scaffold. We are asking you to invest in a transition away from scaffolding entirely. The technology exists, the model is repeatable, and the market funds pays for the efficiency it creates. So let's stop surrounding buildings with steel. Let us surround them with data. Thank you.
So right now the judges are gonna confer, sorry, and decide about the ranks of each of the teams that you just saw. Unfortunately, Mathieu just told me that I could not reveal the winners tonight. Will you have to wait until the award ceremony on Mathieu? When's the award ceremony? Friday? Yeah, Friday. Okay. Just maybe a quick word on what you just saw. Like the finalists had indeed good presentations, but the way to reach the finals is not only by showing like beautiful PowerPoints, but also showcasing the mastery of your business model, breakdown of costs, handling of financial simulation,